I've made dozens of videos criticizing the left, especially in 2020 and 2021. But if you've been watching this channel for a while, you probably noticed that I tend to critique conservative figures more than liberal figures these days. And that's made some of you suspect that I've recently become a Democrat. And the truth is, well, let's talk about it. When I first started YouTube, I saw a huge need to respond to the growing online atheist movement at that time. And given my background in philosophy and my love for apologetics, I wanted to use the skills that God gave me to serve Him and the body of Christ the best that I could. So for a while, I made hundreds of videos responding to atheist claims with the goal of encouraging and equipping Christians who were challenged and bothered by atheist objections. But as time went on, I saw an even greater need in the broader culture to address the problem of those who weren't persuaded by atheism, but instead were persuaded by the spiritual but not religious types. They made up a significantly greater population than the 4% of atheists and accounted for the vast majority of people. So I started doing videos responding to the more postmodern types. And then around the time of the pandemic and around the last election cycle, I started seeing more and more of a need for thoughtful Christians to respond to the growing cultural and political issues that dominated our attention. And at that time, I was very vocal about the issues I saw coming out of the Democratic Party. Now, fast forward to today. Am I now a Democrat? Well, no, not even close. The real reason why I critique conservative Christians more often is because of this. This is a poll I decided to ask my audience in preparation of this video, so that way you could see what I see. From those that responded, most of you are conservatives that primarily only watch conservative media, and only 2% of you watch mostly leftist media. 2%. So given this, I decided to do what I've always done in the past. I go for where the need is, and I don't think that most of you are under the illusion that Harris or Biden is God's chosen one, nor are you being swayed by leftist leaders. And while I focus on critiquing where I believe that the greatest needs are, this doesn't mean that I think that the left is without fault. I've been vocal about their views on abortion, men fighting in women's sports, transitioning children, and so on. But there's literally tens of thousands of other channels that already address those issues, and they do a great job. Now, I'll still continue to give my criticisms about those issues from time to time when needed, but my main focus right now is where I see the greater need of discernment is in the body of Christ. But keep in mind that I'm not here to tear down conservative values. My critiques are not because I'm against conservatism, but because I'm for Christ above everything else. And with that said, here's why you might not want to stick around. To be clear, this channel is not here for those who want a political echo chamber. I want for you to internalize the message of the gospel deeper than you ever have before, and for you to be inspired to grow in your relationship with Christ. And growing often requires being challenged, and being challenged means that you will be uncomfortable sometimes. The gospel doesn't fit so easily into worldly groups, and neither will you. So if you're an out-of-box type of thinker who wants thought-provoking, gospel-centered content that challenges you, then this is the channel for you. But if you're looking for a channel that focuses on why the left is evil, or a channel that will get you pumped for a political rally, then this is not the channel for you. And that's okay. The way I look at it, this whole world is passing away, and so will every one of these earthly kingdoms. So what matters to me is that those who watch this channel will continue to grow in their understanding of Him and His gospel message.